In the last video, you might have noticed what I said was slightly paradoxical. We came to the conclusion that excessive money and rewards can remove motivation. However, you might have noticed that if you don't pay people enough, why would they be motivated? So you really have to find that fine line where you take money off the table so that people aren't distracted by it, but at the same time, it's not so low that people don't focus on work at all. But once you have achieved this fine line and this sense of personal engagement, whether for yourself or for other people, there are three key aspects to improve this: autonomy, mastery, and purpose. And just as a reminder, everything which I'm talking about is from the book Drive by Daniel H. Pink, which I will reference below, so in case you want to read more on that. But today we'll talk about autonomy, the desire to be self-directed. Now, there's a big issue with compliance versus engagement because most systems in the modern world are focused on compliance rather than engagement. For example, the workplace, the education system, think of anything, and most things are related to compliance. But in reality, personal engagement and self-direction is what leads to success. It's what leads to passion. It's what leads to interest in a subject. And without that, there's not much value that can be provided. And it's interesting. I'll ask you to do something. Think of one example right now of a company that provides this sense of engagement rather than compliance. Or think of an example in school. It's tricky. It is very tricky. And I too couldn't think of many, or I can think of any before I read this book. But let me give you an example. This is Atlassian, which has a FedEx day, which means every Thursday afternoon, for 24 hours, they tell everyone you have 24 hours to work on whatever you want with whoever you want. And by the end of Friday, there'll be a meeting where you report all your findings and we'll see what happens. And interestingly, all the fixed software in this software company and the majority of the new innovations that really brought success to this company came from this FedEx day. Because Atlassian knew through psychology, through just the secrets of motivation, that you do have to provide autonomy for people to really enjoy what they're doing and provide value. Now, this is a company you'll know more familiarly, which is Google, which have a 20% rule. And they state that we encourage our employees, in addition to their regular projects, to spend 20% of their time working on what they think will most benefit Google. And you can see I've included this image here, which is also one that I've included in my past blogs and publishes to my psychology magazine, which I'll also link below. But 50% of Google's products are originated from that 20% time. And believe it or not, but one of these products is actually Gmail. Gmail came from this 20% time, and I'm confident that most of you out there use Gmail. Just think about how powerful it is, the fact that Google provided autonomy and they created some of their greatest products that have existed. Now, as an actionable step, similar to what I said last video, consider where you're providing yourself autonomy in your day-to-day lives or where you're providing others autonomy. Think about where you can introduce autonomy to improve your productivity, improve your interest, improve your motivation. Because in reality, I myself have tried to introduce autonomy to my life. I've started doing things I'm more interested in. When I do something, I always leave some time to work on a personal interest. For example, I'm doing an internship at a research company, but at the same time, I'm also working on my own research, which I will be publishing and talking about soon, hopefully. So consider autonomy and consider where you can implement it in your lives and the lives of others. Now, next, I'll be talking about purpose and mastery. So make sure to subscribe and like below so you can be updated when those videos come out. And thank you for listening.